All right, ladies, week 4. I just came back from a run, so I don't know how I'm looking, but it's perfect time to finish filming. So we are on Monday, the 22nd. We have a AMRAP. So I don't believe we've done one before in this month. I'm just gonna look back really quick. No. All right. So I'm going to show you the exercises, and then I'm going to elaborate on what that means because it's kind of difficult to explain, and if you've already been with me, you already know what it is, so I don't want to waste your time. So we have burpees, half or full. We have weighted reverse lunges. And that is meant to be alternating like I just did it, so 16 in total. Bicep curls, you can really do whatever kind you want, regular, or you could do hammer. And crunches. Okay, so AMRAP stands for as many reps as possible or as many rounds as possible. So what that means is you are just picking your time. So anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes, it could be 17, it could be 18, it could be literally anything you pick. And you're just going to run through the exercises until the timer is done. So you don't have to even use a timer. You could just watch the clock, whatever you want, but it's just your basic like stopwatch type of timer. And you're going to set it for whatever you want. So when you start, you're gonna go 10 burpees, 16 weighted lunges, 10 bicep curls, 10 crunches, but you're just gonna keep repeating. So you're not gonna treat it as a rounds where you do a round, then usually take a rest, do a round, take a rest, or you aim for a certain amount of rounds. Your goal is to get as much done in that time frame. So as many rounds or as many reps as possible. So the goal is to really have no to little rest and get as many reps as you can done. So like I said, you're just gonna keep running through the list, keep running through the list, keep running through the list until you need a break. What I like to do, like 15 to 20 minutes, if you have decent like stamina and breath, is not that bad if you pace yourself. So I like to work hard, but pace myself enough where I really don't end up taking a rest at all. If you're a beginner or you just don't have, I like to call it breath. That's my best word for it. If you don't have good breath, then you might want to just aim for maybe 4, then take a little breather, then go and see how it feels, then take a little breather. And some people just aren't competitive. I like to get as much as I can done. Other people are more worried about spacing it out and, not feeling like they're dying. I don't care if I'm dying. I just like to get a high number. So what I do is every time I complete the 4 exercises, I make a tally mark. So I don't like take a full rest or anything. I just usually keep like a pad and paper and I make a tally every time I'm doing it. So that way I can add up the tally at the end. So the way that you figure out how much that you got done is you take your tally number and multiply it by the number of reps, which is the number in front of the exercise. So if you're, if you finished and you end up with 10 tallies, that means you did 10 by 10 or 10 times 10 burpees. You did 10 times 16 weighted lunges, 10 times 10 bicep curls. That's how you figure out how many reps total that you got. So the reason that these workouts are really effective is because you aren't having set rests, and usually you are kind of racing against the clock. You get a lot done. So a lot of people say, well, I only have 15 minutes. What's the point of working out? Because you could get 100 burpees done, 160 reverse lunges, 100 bicep curls, 100 crunches. That's a great workout. So that's why I like these a lot. So if you don't care, don't tally. If you do care, you can tally. And if you are tallying, if you get down to say 30 seconds on your timer and you know that you're not gonna get through all 4 exercises, don't just stop because you're not gonna get through the list. You wanna get through whatever you can. So what I do is I'll do my tallies and then I say I'm at 10 and then I have 30 seconds left and I get through 10 burpees and only 8 reverse lunges. So what I do is the 10 tallies and then I would do plus 10 on the burpees, plus 8 on the weighted reverse lunges, and that's how I count it. All right, so burpees. We talked about this briefly, I think in week 1, because in our HIIT timer, we did the half burpee, hop over, half burpee, hop over. So I'm just gonna go through your 3 main options for a burpee. So your full burpee means you are all the way to the ground. So you're gonna put your hands on the ground, you're gonna jump out into like a high plank, come all the way down to the ground. So everything is resting on the ground. Then you're gonna push up, squat position, jump up, okay? That is your full burpee. Okay, your half burpee, which is what we talked about, is hands on the ground, jump out to high plank, jump back in, up, down, out, in, up, down, out, in, up, okay? And mind you, with all of these, there's variations of jump out or step out. So when you're in your high plank, you can either step out, step in, you can step out, jump in, you can jump out, step in, and that goes for any of the variations that you're doing. You can always modify, and if you're somebody who can't jump, but you can do the half or full burpee, just don't jump when you come back up, okay? Now, your easiest burpee is gonna be off of a height. So of course I'm gonna use my chair, but you could use anything really, whatever you've got near you. So you're going to hands on the height, jump your feet out into a high plank, in, up. So it's the same as your half burpee on the ground, except you're elevating your upper body off the ground, which makes it easier because you're not bearing as much of your body weight. Again, if you cannot jump, you can always step out, step in, don't jump, or you can just not jump at the top. However you need to break it down is fine. Then we've got our weighted reverse lunges. So I know we've talked about lunges multiple times, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it. You're gonna grab your weight. Of course, you can do it with no weight. Your main focus is that you wanna make sure when you step back, you're railroad and not tightrope, meaning I can see both feet, sink down 90 degree, my back straight, come back up, okay? So you wanna make sure that your knees aren't bowing outward. Wanna make sure you're not like this, wobbly. You wanna make sure that you don't hunch when you go down. Pretty simple. Bicep curls, we've talked about these as well, and we talked about different variations, so it's up to you. Either way, you're doing both arms together, but you can do your more basic bicep curl, which is where your hands are like this in the air, or you can do hammer curl, where they are like this, okay? So that's really up to you. Just make sure that you're not swinging the weight because you're trying to go fast, or maybe it's too heavy for you. Just make sure everything looks nice and controlled. And lastly, we have our crunches. I believe we've probably talked about these as well. So you get down, knees are bent, and all you're doing is crunching your shoulders. So your upper body, your shoulders off the ground. You can put your hands behind your head, but lightly touch, don't wrap and grab. You don't want to be pulling on your neck when you're going up and down, so just lightly tap the back of your head, keep your elbows open. You can crunch like that, or you can just put your hands out to the side. Don't hold your neck or head at all, and crunch like that, okay? So if you have any questions, again, on how this timer works or how you can keep track, you can message me, but basically you're just doing as much as you can in the time that you pick is really what it is.